The biggest flop in gaming history has been confirmed, with Sony making the decision to permanently shut down Concord and close Firewalk Studios. Now, on one hand, I'm a little bit surprised because we've seen a couple of rumblings and some code getting changed on the Steam side of things when it comes to Concord. And of course, the way that initial announcement that they were going to be shuttering day-to-day operations, at least for the foreseeable future, they were going to be looking at repackaging that. What was that from? Ryan Ellis, the game director. So yeah, we all kind of thought maybe, towards the end of the year, the Game Awards, or maybe wait for the next Sony State of Play, and then they'd come back and it'd just be a little mid-show announcement that, yeah, Concord's going to be back. It's going to be free to play. We'll try this once again. Perhaps there was a little bit of a sunk cost fallacy, given the fact that we've heard reports of this game, and over its 10 years of laborious development, it has cost upwards of $400 million. And because Sony isn't necessarily the most financially endowed operation out there, you would have thought that, yeah, they might have been able to recoup some of this loss, but they just decided, and they've been combing over this for 6 weeks since it's been closed down. I can't believe things have moved this quickly, but they poured over, I would have to imagine at this point in time, given how much money that's out there. They looked over everything that Firewalk Studios has done over 8 to 10 years, and they went, we can't do anything with this, so you know what? We might as well take the tax write-off. We will go ahead and mostly get rid of everybody at that studio. We might move a couple of the people, the higher-up people, the shot callers there. We'll try to move them off to different studios. So basically, the people that were in charge of this disaster, not the day-to-day operations, yeah, they're going to be fine. They're going to have other employment under the Sony umbrella. But the people punching in code, the people drawing the concept art, yeah, they're out on the street. And no, I'm not out here shedding any tears or saying that, thoughts and prayers with those who are no longer employed. They made this crap. Okay, they're responsible for this absolute debacle. If it wasn't for their poor performance, because it wasn't like it was one aspect of this. It wasn't the characters were bad, but the story was good, or the story was trash, but the gameplay was fine. No. The entire thing was AIDS. The total package on offering, it didn't inspire enthusiasm from anybody. I mean, this game topped out, okay? After its full release, hell, even going back to the closed beta and open beta, you topped out just under 4,000 people on Steam, and according to people analyzing the numbers on the Sony side of life, wasn't doing any better. Best case scenario, it was on par with those Steam numbers, but very likely lower than that. And then, yeah, when the game went into full launch for the 2 glorious weeks it was available, capped out at 697 players. This game was always going to fail. Just didn't anticipate it being this spectacular, but let's take a look at the full thing, because shutting down Firewalk Studios and permanently mothballing Concord wasn't the only move that Sony made on the day. In fact, Neo Koi, which, is actually a pretty big deal, okay, because that was another studio that ended up getting shuttered, and there's a real good thread right here just breaking down what exactly Neon Koi did, which it's really hard to discern even from their website. And while you can point to Firewalk Studios, delivering Concord, what can you do with Neon Koi? What are they responsible for? Actually, nothing, really. So Neon Koi claims to be a rebranded mobile game studio spearheaded by a Californian, either in Germany or Finland, which is interesting. That sounds like the setup to a joke. They have 2 offices for some reason, and I don't know where he resides. Their website is painful on the eyes, and it seems to have some pages on it, lots of pictures, but doesn't show what games they've made. So yeah, they've got a culture screen, a value screen, and a job screen, where our team can be summed up in being hungry, humble, and people smart. We seriously love what we do and aim high in order to succeed as a diverse international. All right, see, yeah, I'm already just fed up with that crap, because it's like, what the hell are you guys even doing at this point in time, right? Like, we're just we're really hungry, even though you're a first-party Sony studio, and knowing that basically everybody is working on something in some form or fashion, but yet you guys have no work to your name, even though you've been in the Sony family for how long at this point in time? Anyways, Their LinkedIn shows Christmas parties, Halloween parties, and free PlayStation 5s for staff, which, if you guys were developing anything, I could understand, you know, like having dev kits or something like that, or hell, even, yeah, just having consoles at home so you can play the games that you're working on. But happy Women's Day, but yeah, no progress on a mobile game day. Yeah, exactly, because you got different screenshots of the different crap that they were working on, and brother, yeah, it looks like one of those daycare posts of this social media firm that you used to see prior to like Elon Musk buying up and gutting Twitter. You would have these adults posting their day at work, how they would show up whenever they felt appropriate, and then they'd go and they might relax for a little while, and then they'd go have lunch in the cafeteria, and then once they feel all good and well, then they'd stop by the wine dispenser, and then maybe they'd clock in a couple of hours at a meeting about how they could redesign the break room. It'll be great. But yeah, there's a lot of holiday cheer in our studios this holiday season. That's Christmas, you fun people. Yeah, they're making gingerbread houses. Bruh, I love doing that stuff, and I love Christmas probably more than the next person. Like, it's my favorite time of year, and I'm counting down the days when I can put up my Christmas decorations. But I've never done anything like that at work, any of the jobs that I've had. But then again, they aren't quite as cushy as this. Absolute nonsense. Yeah, Neon Koi, we work hard, we play hard seriously. As a studio perk, each new team member receives their very own PS5. Bro, like, speaking about Christmas and stuff, like, I've never worked at a job or at a Christmas party, and the last place that I worked at, okay, our Christmas bonus, our Christmas gift was a bottle of barbecue sauce. I shit you not. So the fact that these hacks, the moment that they sign up, they get PS5s, that's kind of crazy. That's like $500. And what in the hell? Like, what's going on here? Yeah. Oh, they have donuts for ugly women. Fantastic. And oh yeah, they put more of their ugly women on front page because International Women's Day. I need a check on that one right there, because I'm not entirely sure that that's accurate. But they were hiring, but still no progress on finding out what they were working on. Keep in mind, all of these people are on the Sony payroll. Yeah, exactly. We're hiring, and we're posting it all over LinkedIn. Interesting. A studio owned by Sony, not getting any publicity, not producing any works in progress, or any game not working on any notable IP, was shut down alongside Firewalk. So yeah, this is one of those companies that I guess theoretically exists, and you spend all your time posting on social media to 600 followers on Twitter, one post, and 82 followers on Instagram. Like, what the I can see why they were closed down. And somehow, in comparison to Firewalk Studios, probably still ended up turning a bigger profit. But Sony is closing Firewalk Studios, the studio behind PlayStation's Concord game that they took online last month. After how long was it operational? After a disastrous launch and a message to PlayStation staff, Herman Holst, who was apparently a big supporter, a big proponent of Firewalk Studios, had to deliver the news. How sad. CEO of PlayStation Studios Business Group says Firewalk Studios will close alongside Neon Koi, a mobile game studio that doesn't produce any mobile games. The shutdown will affect about 210 jobs. Round of applause for that. A bunch of those bums can just get back out on the streets, and hey, the world needs ditch diggers too, you know. We have spent considerable time these past few months exploring all our options. Bro, this was shut down right after Labor Day. Like, the announcement came out the Tuesday afterwards that they would be shutting operations that Friday. There hasn't been months. Okay, like, it's the 30th today, and this announcement was made yesterday, midway through the day. So they've been exploring their options over the past few months, but I thought that you listened to all the criticism of the open beta of people going, ooh, this isn't fun. This is really, really a great value hero shooter, and your characters are terrible. What are you guys doing over there? You were just, we don't need to take your plebeian criticism. We have Sony money over here. We're just going to force this into the market. But they were working on changes. You're going to find a lot of revisionist history in these couple of statements that we're going to go over. But after much thought, we have determined the best path forward is to permanently sunset the game and close the studio. Wow, that's kind of crazy. We've been taking a look at all of the work that our studios have done, and we decided to set it all on fire. Okay. I want to thank all of Firewalk for their craftsmanship, creative spirit, and dedication. To what exactly? I want to thank them for being responsible for the biggest money sink in gaming history. Okay. Paul says Concord didn't hit Sony's targets, and that the PlayStation maker will have to we'll take the lessons learned from Concord and continue to advance our live service capabilities to deliver future growth. How about just make some good games, okay? Like God of War Ragnarok was good, well received. The people that played it, I'll wait until the PC port gets deeply discounted and I still have to play, original Valhalla game, but I played a fair amount of the Greek trilogy, the Greek saga, which is, spoiling a future video, I was looking to get remastered a little bit, which is pretty good stuff. But prior to that, man, it's like, this is also same guy. Well, I think it was one of his co-workers who came out and said that Sony doesn't have any IPs. So yeah, instead of focusing on all of the brands that made you one of the most successful console gaming companies in history, instead of doing anything with that, no, we're just going to continue to try to chase that white whale of live service games. Fantastic stuff. But yes, Concord debuted August 23rd on both PlayStation 5 and PC, but Sony took the game offline September 6th after poor sales of the game. Estimates have put sales at 25,000, and Concord only managed to hit an all-time peak of 697 players on Steam, lower than the peak of, it's Lord of Ring Golem. Okay, I'm going to go from that AI apology that was released on behalf of Daedalus Entertainment. Okay, that is a Lord of Ring Golem. You say his name appropriately, goddammit. And yeah, another win for Golem. Okay, extremely rare Golem W's being handed out right now. They didn't have to refund the 25,000 theoretical purchases that were out there. And they didn't have to get denounced by their parent company, which I'm not entirely sure who Daedalus, used to operate under. I think they also got shut down. But hey, that is neither here nor there. Okay, we can go ahead and talk about with the final sign-off, yes, with Firewalk signing off one last time, their final statement for the public. And if you thought that Herman Hulst was out there spinning quite a corporate tale, you ain't seen nothing yet. Firewalk began as the idea of bringing the joy of multiplayer to a larger audience, which you didn't accomplish that. I guess that was your goal. It's just kind of like everything else. You vastly and severely underperformed. Along the way, we assembled an incredible team who were able to navigate growing a new startup into a team during a global pandemic. Oh my God, Firewalk was founded in 2018. Let's just pause for a second. When was the world shut down? What year was that? Okay, 2020. We're founded in 2018. We came together during a pandemic. Makes a lot of sense. Only entering full production in 2022. Sure thing. They also build a new customized next-generation FPS engine in Unreal 4 and 5. Bro, it's the most ubiquitous engine that's out there. And the fact that felt the need to switch over to Unreal 5, and that was the best that you could do, and that's all you could crank out of that new engine, I don't really think that the shot callers over there knew exactly what they were doing. Delivering, yes, a top-tier gameplay feel. It's like, no, that's just not the case. Beautiful worlds. You created one game with some terrible maps. Not a lot of worlds. And performance of 60 FPS technical experience on stable and scalable backend on the PS5 and PC to hundreds of thousands, I beg your pardon, of players in our beta. Hundreds of thousands. Being generous, okay, on that second week where you didn't have to have an invite in order to experience the beta, I am being incredibly generous by saying 10, 15,000 might have been the tops over that entire weekend. That might have been the total player base. Concurrently, hundreds of thousands of players. I don't even think hundreds of thousands of people even know what Concord is. So stop it. You guys not just lying to the public, you're also lying to yourselves. And now your studio's closed. You don't have to do this. Manage an acquisition and integration while readying technical and preliminary tests. Yeah, you were bought by Sony in 2022 when you went into full development, so I don't really know what the whole integration thing is all about, but okay. And ultimately ship and deliver a great FPS experience. Oh, you kind of missed on that one, hey, to players, even if it landed much more narrowly than hoped against the heavily consolidated market. Oh yeah, see, there's just so much competition that's out there. How could we possibly be expected to put out a competent game? Come on now. We took some risks along the way. Not really. You kind of did. It's kind of crazy, right? Because Concord, for all of its design follies, it looks exactly like everything else that's out there. Like, it just looks like great value Fortnite and all the rejects from Overwatch. There was nothing cutting edge or risk taking about any of that character design. It was all crap. It was all safe. You had all of the trappings of modern dayisms. You were trying to capture the modern audience, and you failed. To say that you took risks along the way by hiring a bunch of Bungie staff from back in the cut when they were out there making the good Halo games, it's like you played the game the safest way possible, and you still screwed up. You employed the nickel defense, and you were trying to play the game not to lose instead of trying to play to win. You ultimately paid the price. Marrying aspects of card battlers and fighting games with first-person shooters. Yeah, listen, I didn't play the game like the rest of the earth, okay? But I seen gameplay clips. There's none of that shit that was in there. There was a bunch of cringy dialogue and pronouns. That's what you guys brought to the table, and that's why you're looking for jobs. And although some of these and other aspects of the IP didn't land as we hoped, the idea of putting new things into the world is critical to pushing the medium forward. The talent at Firewalk and the level of individual craft is truly world-class. You just haven't really seen any of it, but trust me, it's world class. They're capable of great things, I think, maybe. And across the industry, we'll be fortunate to work with them. Yeah, no. I hope that there's a lot of resumes getting passed out at local coffee shops. Please reach out to recruiting at places. Yeah, I don't really care about all of that stuff because I see the people that you employ. And, oh, if you recall the Amanda Kiefer individual, okay, she was out there and she was on her ranch. She was a art director or something like that. Pretty soon these weirdos will have no games to buy at all. Absolutely hilarious, right? They're gonna have no games to buy at all, and you're not gonna have a job to go to. Are you still working at Firewalk? I love you. Yep, thank you. Oh, that's fantastic. But guess what? Remember when this Firewalk dev said, yeah, pretty soon gamers would have no games to play at all. Turns out today she has no job at all, and I don't shed a tear. It's because people like this. Losers that bounce around from studio to studio, polluting everywhere that they go. Yeah, formerly a Walking Dead VR developer. Oh yeah, would that have been one of the Telltale games? All right, the Telltale studio that closed it down? Oh, interesting. This is why the games industry, man, it's going to have to go through a massive contraction before anything really gets better. It's because all of these people, right, like they scatter like rats off of a sinking ship. And that's all the low-level people like that Amanda Kiefer, okay? I don't really imagine that she's that high up there, senior concept artist at Firewalk Studios. Yeah, just another one of these fictitious jobs and just a fancy way of saying, well, I kind of do this and I kind of do that, and I'm the one that brings the muffins on Thursday. But she probably has a bunch of friends in the industry, and somebody will put in a good word for her at one of these over-bloated studios, and she'll go and poison another raft. Her work and her communications will go ahead and drill more holes into more ships until the entire industry is a barren wasteland, and all of these people with these worthless degrees just went, well, I went to school and I took on $100,000 in student debt so I could be just like every other person coming out of game development school, where we have no original ideas and a whole bunch of entitlement. The games industry was better back when it was a group of small, dedicated developers who had an idea and who had passion for the business, instead of people who think that just because they have a piece of paper, they're entitled to jobs in the industry. And also, the games industry was better when it was majority male. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.